Hi guys, and welcome back. I'm going to talk about something that's been debated every single day on every forum. There's been attacks. Which is better? One plane, two planes, somewhere in between. All these different types of swing planes. And it's very confusing to know which one is the best. And really what it boils down to is we can really use whichever one we want to. If we go with a little bit more of an upright swing plane, we have a few advantages. And if we go with a more flat swing plane, we have a few advantages. There's also some disadvantages with more upright and flatter swing planes. I particularly like to think that somewhere in the middle is probably the best, but I know for sure we can play very good golf no matter what our swing plane is. So I'm going to go over a flat swing plane. Some people call it a one plane swing. I'm going to go over a very upright swing plane, which would be called a two plane swing. The two main differences that you have to have when you're using these types of swings, and then overall what's going to happen in the middle, which would be a blend of these two things. So first let's go over what would typically be a one plane swing. So when we're doing a one plane swing, all that's happening is if we look at our arms, as we rotate back to the top of the swing, our left arm is going to be basically going across our chest or our shoulders. So my left arm plane is kind of matching my shoulder plane. Now in general, when I do this, I need to be steeper with my shoulders as I'm going back. So as I start to go flatter with my arm, I need to be steeper with my shoulders to kind of compensate from that. So when I'm doing this, when I'm having a more flatter swing plane, the advantage of that, or the so-called advantage, what most people would think is an advantage, is maybe I can stay a little bit more consistent, because now as my arms go back on this flatter plane, I have less elevation and rise up and down with the arms, and I can stay a little bit more consistent. And then from there, I can come on through and be more consistent. That may be the case. You could argue either way on that. We could talk about the pros and cons and argue and debate, and this is what most people do, is they debate how much energy and this and that, and it doesn't really matter. Well, I know that this can work. You take a look at Matt Kuchar, won a ton of money with a very flat one plane type swing. So the main thing to keep in mind is when I'm going flatter, I have to be steeper with my shoulders, and I also have to rotate my body more. So as I'm going flatter, I need to rotate my hips. I'm going to tend to be more open at impact. My shoulders are going to need to rotate more, and I'm getting more of my speed from my shoulders, my hips, and my body rotating very, very quickly. Now if we go to the opposite end of the spectrum there, now let's imagine we're going very two plane or very upright like a Bubba Watson, long hitter. All right, so now we're going to go more up. We're here. Our arm is very vertical, so my shoulder plane is here, and my arm plane is much more vertical than that. Now from there, what I need to do is I need to give my time for my arms to drop down as I'm starting to open up, to get my arms time to catch back up. If you're going to do more of a vertical swing plane, you're going to feel a lot more arm action and a lot more hitting with the arms and speed with the arms to get your speed. You don't want to feel like I get to the top, I got a very vertical swing plane, and then I rip open my body. I'm going to be left way behind because my arms are so high. I got to get a time to accelerate my arms and to help to build that acceleration. The advantages of that are going to be speed. A lot of your longer hitters are getting those higher arms so that they can create the biggest time possible. The more room I have to accelerate, the faster I can accelerate. So if we had a drag car and we added an extra quarter mile to the track, now we've got longer to accelerate, a longer distance to accelerate over, and we're going to be able to go a little bit faster. That's the so-called advantage. We could argue the pros and cons or whether that's true or not until we're blue in the face, but that's the general idea, is that the higher we get the arms, the longer period of time we're going to be able to accelerate. So if we have a more vertical swing, just remember, we don't want to rip open the body, start to race out in front, leave the arms behind. That's going to give us trouble. We're going to start to block some shots well over to the right if we do that. If we get flatter, steeper shoulder plane, more body rotation, and the one that I particularly prefer is the one in the middle. We're going to get a little bit of elevation. We're going to get a good amount of body rotation and the arms working in together. It's a nice balance of both of those, and we're going to find a nice consistent swing plane. So no matter if you're flatter, more vertical, or somewhere in the middle, you will play good golf. The last thing I'll lead you with there is the reason it doesn't quite matter which swing plane we're on particularly is because that's not what is really crucial to playing good golf. In the Top Speed Golf System, we talk about the 5 things that are most important. Good, stable, fluid spine, meaning my body isn't moving around all over the place. I got to load those shoulders up, come on through that shot. That's going to get me the power. I've got to lag, release that club, and I've got to get into what I call the compression line. And I'm going to talk about those a little bit more in this system as we go through this top speed yaw system. But for this video, whichever plane you choose, go out there, play your best golf, be consistent, and have a lot of fun. I'll see you guys soon. Hi guys, I hope y'all really enjoyed this video. If you did, I got a great bonus for you. I'm going to play a preview from one of my #1 lag videos. Are you struggling to get a lot of lag in the downswing? We know how important that is. We got to get lag. We got to release that lag to really let that club whip through contact. I'm going to play a preview from one of the best lag drills out there that I have. I'm going to show you how players like Rory McIlroy, Tiger Woods, Adam Scott all use this in their own swing. It's going to help you to hit it a lot farther, pick up some great speed. If you want to watch that video, go ahead and click the link that pops up in your screen. If you're on a mobile device, a phone, a tablet, go ahead and click the iCard, which is going to allow you to get instant access to that. If you guys have any questions, post them in the comments below. Click that thumbs up button, that really helps us out. And be sure to subscribe, that way you'll see our latest videos. Good luck, and I'll see you in the lag video. Hi guys, and welcome back. I'm Clay Ballard, and in today's video, we're going to talk about one of the absolute worst drills for creating lag. It's a very common drill that I see. And in this drill, what we're going to do is we're going to set the wrist very early to create an angle of lag, and then we're going to try to hold this throughout the swing. It's one of the worst things that you can do to build lag. I'm going to talk about the science behind why this is the case, and I'm also going to give you a great drill to help you improve your lag, all in this video. Let's go ahead and get started. If I do it this way versus holding that position, exact same thing happens when we're building the lag in the golf swing. So what we want to do is throughout the swing, I want to have a very low and wide takeaway. So I'm not going to set my wrist early at all. If you look at a lot of the top players, you look at Adam Scott, very wide takeaway, not very much wrist set at all. You look at Rory McIlroy, look at Tiger Woods. All these players are using a wide takeaway and not getting very much wrist set, so that later in the swing, as we start down, we can increase this wrist set, and we're really only going to max out this angle of lag for a split second in the downswing. Okay, so a 3-step drill here. Now, as we get started with this, I want to remind you that the fulcrum in this golf club for getting a massive amount of lag is right at the end of the golf club. This is where I want my hinge point to be. I want to use the full length of this club.